Did you know that all this time the Africans have been keeping their best barbecue secret from us?
A big thanks to Lotus Grills for sponsoring this episode.
That's right, South Africa has a big barbecue culture and they call it braai. Of course I have some followers from Africa and they have been talking to me forever to make biltong, braaibroodjes and all these African things. Oh, potjekos and lots more. But the one thing they never told me about is this. Yeah, sauce. It is Mrs. Bowles' her chutney sauce. It is the go-to sauce for barbecue and braai in South Africa. And today is going to be the day that I'm going to put this to the test. The first thing that I'm going to test this on is this steak. A beautiful entrecote. So I'm going to open up the grill, put in some charcoal, light it up, and then within 3 minutes this grill is good to go. Before grilling, I'm going to season the steak with the PITMASTERX Texas barbecue seasoning. It has a little bit of everything that you need for your steaks. Of course, I'm going to season both sides. The grill is hot, the steak is at room temperature. Let's start cooking. Now that is a hot grill. I'll be grilling the steak to a temperature of 52 degrees Celsius. And then when I have the perfect crust, I'm going to pull it off the grill. That is one beautiful crust, but before I can cut into it, I have to let it rest for at least 5 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm going to do the next experiment, which is chicken wings. Of course, every good barbecue sauce always works well with chicken. So I'm going to season them up with a little bit of chicken seasoning. The chicken wings go over indirect heat on the grill at a lower temperature, which in this case means the sides. I'm going to close the lid and wait until they're crispy, juicy and tender. When the wings are golden brown and crispy on the outside and the core temperature is over 75 degrees Celsius, then it's time to take them off the grill. The last part I'm a bit scared of because it's a culturally sensitive topic. You see, South Africans have a song for making this recipe. And they feel so strongly about it that me doing it wrong would definitely upset them. In the song, they literally have instructions on how to do it. And just in case you're wondering what a braaibroodje is, well, it's the South African version of a grilled cheese sandwich, or the French croque monsieur. So I got my tomatoes. I'm going to slice an onion real thin. I'm going to take a couple of slices of white bread, put on a little bit of mayonnaise. And please feel free at any time to scold me in the comments telling me I'm doing this wrong. But I think this is the way to do it. You put the mayonnaise on and the mayonnaise goes on the outside to get it beautiful, crispy, golden brown. So I'm going to put it like this, sprinkle on a couple of pieces of tomato, then follow it up with a couple of slices of onion. Then on goes some cheese. Nothing better than home sliced cheese. And now on goes Mrs. Bowles' her chutney. I'm going to put the top on and this is a braaibroodje. I'm going to put it on the grill, put some weight on it to push it down. And then when the cheese is melted in the middle, you know you made the perfect braaibroodje. I so do hope I got this right. If I offended anyone with my version of the braaibroodjes, then I do apologize. But I'm curious, because most of the time something from South Africa comes off the braai. I love tasting it. There we go. The braaibroodje. And I think we might as well start with the taste test. That is really good. Wow. I must say I had some doubts eating lots of toasties in the Netherlands. But this South African grilled cheese sandwich, I don't want to be traitor, but it tastes better than the Dutch or the French version of it. And I do think 50% of the flavor is because of Mrs. Bowles' her chutney that's inside this sandwich. And now that we know the sauce can do some magic, let's test it on the one thing that I love the most that comes off a grill. You see, this sauce is sweet and it has some sourness to it, which most barbecue sauces have too, so this might be actually a really good idea. Let's do the dip, do the umbrella. Another win. Another win for the South African sauce. And the funny thing is, how come it tastes so good on chicken wings? Because if I taste it like a sauce, I just put a spoon in my mouth, it is a little bit like eating jam. And I don't think of jam when I think of barbecue or grilling. But this chutney on chicken wings, wow. Here comes a tough one. Does this taste good on steaks? Let's find out. Let's get a slice out of that beauty, dip it in. You know, it kind of tastes good on steak, but nowhere near as good as on the braai broodje or the chicken wings. I think the sweetness really kills it for me. I like to have some more savory flavors on a steak sauce, and this is more of a sweet flavor. So personally, I don't feel that the steak and the chutney really goes well together. But I did have some fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this experiment, and if you did, then leave me a thumbs up. And if you have something to say about my braai broodje, please put it down below in the comment. I'd love to learn more about the braai broodje because I'm a big fan already.